It's Mike here, and welcome to the Wirraway versus Heclapar play-by-mail campaign, where we've jumped ahead just a little over a week to the 13th of March, 1942. The last week has been pretty quiet, which is why I've skipped it. Today should be less quiet as our troops cross the river into Calcutta, and I'll catch you up on the other two important events. I-166. So it had a couple kills off Karachi. These minesweepers trying to track down a small coastal submarine of mine operating in Brisbane. Taking Great Nicobar. A Fubuki shredding down a little AG that I think escaped from Tarakan. Okay, the Jasmine escorting a tanker or two. Couple ships up north. So Navy bombers hitting his troops at Calcutta, support of the two infantry divisions that will cross. Kate's hitting his the stubborn Dutch Terracon. I have 3 Special Naval Landing Force units there now, and they have not been able to make much headway against the Dutch. They will. It's not critical. Typical bombing at Bandoing. We're just about finished redeployments there after that errant attack by one of our divisions left us short on combat power. He's got a division now. Trying to defend Darwin this early as the Allies is a mistake. His float plane still operating out of Tarakan. One of the important things that happened is we were successfully able to sneak the AB around his naval search at Terracon and his naval search at Darwin, and they appear to have arrived in the Pacific undetected. Typical attacks in the Philippines to suppress fort building and damage supply. Should know in the next few days what his supply situation is really like as we make our first serious attack at 1,000 AV he has in Manila. So she was empty. The tank, depending how big she was, that torpedo hit may not have been enough to sink her. Nope. Seems like it was enough to sink her. We've reformed our divisions, just waiting on some more artillery and tanks before we have another go at Changsha. Tough fight. Ideally you'd want at least 2-1, even 3-1, and we're going to struggle to have much over 1-1. But you got to fight. About ready to attack again along the Ankang Road, where we've been having success at grinding his units down, but haven't been able to advance in weeks. Okay, shock attack at Calcutta. I don't play the Allies, haven't in more than a decade, I guess. So I don't really know their order of battle, but I'm not sure why Eastern Command he would have left in Calcutta, except maybe, yeah. The SNLF's give it another go. We don't get to 1-1, and the disablements are definitely in the Allies' favor. Again, no rush. They will win, and they will gain experience while they do it. You can see the 28th Division is now formed at Clark. It's holding down Clark. Against the enemy while we get ready to attack at Manila. 62nd Chinese Corps was a remnant left behind from previous attacks that routed the Chinese units around Kukong. It surrenders. We'll speed through these. Okay, let's first check in on Calcutta. Capturing Calcutta and its heavy industry. Nice, very little damage to the heavy industry as one of our primary initial goals in India. And that's been accomplished. Let's check our divisions. 38th is in good shape. 33rd is in good shape, so they'll continue the attack across this river Hex, the invisible river Hex, into Diamond Harbor, where the enemy is now trapped. His only remaining forces in the Bengal region. He has garrison, a base force unit at Chittagong, and a small unit at Lido. We'll use uh, paratroopers to take Kohima and these bases and move on Lido to complete our isolation of his forces in remaining forces in Burma and isolate China from any supply, which is part of the long-term strategy to cause the collapse of China in the coming months. Meanwhile, we're also ready. Imperial Guard is formed or is available at Madras. We're going to form it and load it on transports to land at Ceylon. Once Ceylon falls, or once the landing is successful at Ceylon, um, our air units, which will cover that invasion, will shift to covering the 5th Division's advance on Warrangal as a preparatory attack uh, um, on Hyderabad. Once Warrangal falls, we'll rail our 3 veteran divisions here and advance on Hyderabad. We'll need most of our Air Force, maybe all of our Air Force to do that because he has, well, only 36 fighters reported there. There are a couple hundred here and another almost 100 here plus bombers. So that will take our full effort. But that's phase 2 of our India campaign, the drive on Hyderabad and eventually on Bombay. The other thing, I said 2 important things happened during the approximately 7 days from our last video. We were able to flip Magway. Our bombers destroyed the remnants of the English in Burma that were trapped at Magway, and the base flipped to our side with no damage to the oil. The other important thing that happened that I've already hinted at, the KB was able to slip down from Singapore through the Java Sea, um, past the Makassar Strait. Sorry, jumped too far. And through the uh, Moluccas, undetected, and is now sitting at Woollier, ready to support operations, offensive or defensive, in Senpak, SOPAC, Southwest Pac, and if necessary, NORPAC. KB is fully assembled except for Kaga, and one light carrier. Kaga is finally getting her hull damage repaired at Cure after she covered the Aleutians campaign. So Shoho is here, and Kaga still has about 3 weeks to go. But typically, once her float damage gets below 5, I can pull her out of the shipyard, and she can be repaired dockside, the remaining damage. then she will rejoin the rest of the KB. Okay, in Java, uh, we have regiments. These are the orphan regiments of the divisions that start off uh, with the wrong headquarters. They're going to spearhead the assaults on Bandawing while, along with the armor units, while the 4th Division recovers, along with the 21st Division, which is almost fully recovered. And if the regiments can't do it, the divisions will finish the task. Hoping a week here. We'll see. Again, no reason to press at Tarakan other than he's still able to operate those Dorners out of Tarakan. These bases, dock bases, I need to clean up. There's no troops at any of these, but you can see there's quite a few of them. And from his bases in northern Australia, he can use Coronados or similar long-legged aircraft to fly in AV support and jump in PPYs or something similar to keep an eye on what's going on in the Dutch East Indies. Now he's missed that opportunity for the moment since the KB has slipped by, but nevertheless want to remove those remaining opportunities. We're building up Tagala Island. I think I talked about that uh, earlier. It's airfield and forts are building. We've got engineers now at Nanantai in the Gilberts. So these bases, Tapatui is already essentially fully built up, except I want to get the air capacity up to 3. So with an air headquarters, I can operate Nels or Betty's here. Engineers are on the way to build out the rest of the Gilberts. They are just a couple days out from truck. There are 2 sets of engineers and more here. There's a collision in this task force, so I'm going to have to break this task force apart, let the faster ships move on ahead, and these 2 damaged ships Saipan, and I'll send a fast transport task force to pick up those the 46 engineer, 46 road construction fragment, it looks like, and the 52nd fragment of the 52nd. In the Aleutians, no change. We have engineers at Shima building up Shima, engineers at Amchetka building up Amchetka, engineers at Unmak. We're going to fast transport some engineers into Cold Bay to build up that forward base. He's got some, doesn't look like anything significant. Kodiak. Had a submarine operating, a couple submarines operating off Vancouver Island and Prince Rupert. They have run into nothing in weeks, so I think I'm going to pull them out of here and have them patrol closer to Kodiak and perhaps Anchorage because they haven't been successful where they are. Okay. Just a reminder, ships sunk in the last few days. Those AMs were destroyed. I-166 got the Francole. You saw little AG go down. I-166 also got this AK, and one of our submarines got Caledon off Ceylon. don't know. I didn't talk about these submarines have been sort of blockading Ceylon for weeks. They haven't found any targets other than that light cruiser more than a week ago. I'm going to redeploy most of them. They'll refuel at Madras. They haven't used their torpedoes and redeploy them into the Karachi zone. Um, don't have a lot of long-legged submarines, and it's a long way to Karachi, but I can use Madras as a refueling location. I don't want to put a submarine tender there because, well, within bomb range, but at least in terms of refueling the submarines and keeping them at sea, I can get some of the shorter legged boats to cover Karachi. He doesn't, we haven't run into much shipping going in and out of Bombay, but it may be there. We're just not seeing it. Okay, well, that's the state of the campaign at the moment, and I look forward to our next chance to talk.